So we're having online audience as well. So good morning once again from wherever you are watching us, and yeah, for those who are actually here present, you're all welcome to today's event. You're welcome to today's event, which is more or less Exam Slam, and we'll be talking about everything that pertains to AWS certifications. Giving you like a rundown of couple of the things that entails in terms of AWS certifications. We're talking about how to schedule your exams. We're talking about more particularly how to access the 100% voucher, because I know a lot of people are actually really concerned about that to some extent. But yeah, so we'll be having dialogues on that real quick. But just more or less to catch up with everyone, I know we've been doing one or two things as regards the cloud. I know we've been having like projects we've been working on so far. Would anybody want to like really like talk about one of the things that they've been working on so far? The last 1 week, 2 weeks, exciting projects we've worked on. I want to share with any one of us here. All right, thank you very much, Prince. Please come and introduce yourself and yeah, please come front. Yeah, come forward. Sorry for the inconvenience.
Thank you very much. Good morning. My name is Prince, and I'm actually a cloud student. Maybe I'm the least student here because I just started, right? So I transitioned from accounting to tech, right? And I started learning last year, actually, May last year. And I've always been scared. In fact, I did a course on Udemy. After finishing the course, I took like two, what they call it, mock or something. And my score was very bad. I just closed my laptop and faced other things. So I actually set a goal to take my cloud practitioner this year. So I just set the goal. I said I take it or I take it. That's the only option. So I've been looking for communities like this, resources to encourage me, to ginger me. And I'm here. And I think last month, I also signed up for a boot camp, an online boot camp, where we've been training, learning, and doing a project. There's a project I've been postponing since last year. That was setting up a static website using S3 bucket. I was able to do it last month, so I'm getting more encouraged. I'm getting more ginger to go for it. I'm glad to be here, and hopefully we're going to get a voucher and write my exam and pass it this year. Thank you.
Round of applause for it, please. Round of applause for it. Thank you very much, Prince. Thank you very much. Anybody wants to share again? Want to just take one or two people before? Yeah, thank you very much. Please come forward. Please a round of applause. Encourage you now. It's not easy. Thank you very much. Come forward. Yeah, just introduce yourself and yeah.
Hello everyone, I'm Adeyinka. So I started AWS I think about 1 year ago as well. So I think some projects I've been able to do. I've been able to do some migrations from some on-prem services to an AWS. So I've also been able to serve some S3 buckets as well to some companies. So currently I work for a company that does sys admin for NMPC upstream. So we handle their on-prem infrastructure and we also handle their cloud infrastructure as well. So we're currently doing a project where they have some on-prem databases that they're trying to move to AWS. So we are in charge of that, and that is currently ongoing now. So as time goes on as well, I also look to meet a couple of people as well that we can collaborate on different AWS projects as well. So thank you.
A round of applause for it. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Adeyinka. Sorry and apologize once again for okay, yeah, please. So sorry once again for why Nigeria. I never start again. So hopefully they get to restore the life very, very soon. So quickly, I don't know if I can take one more person before we move into the event properly. Anybody Yeah, quickly. Anybody going once? Going twice? All right. Okay. Please round of applause.
Hi, good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Yeah, my name is Obolade Bolumavelos. I'm a cloud practitioner.
Okay.
Yeah, so I started my cloud journey with Azure, but I'm pretty sure I can replicate everything I know on Azure on AWS. So I started, so I came across this talent up, I think 2 months ago, and they introduced me to AWS. And okay, I saw this program and I want to actually venture into AWS. I have a little experience with Oracle, just a little. Yeah, so that's just
Thank
it.
you very much. Please round of applause. Wow. Yeah, I have seniors in the building. I imagine Oracle. All right. Thank you very much. All right. So my name is Emmanuel Oni. I'm the cloud captain for AWS Cloud Club Unilag. And basically, we are an institution or a community, basically, where that's more or less train people on cloud services, especially as regards AWS. We get to offer opportunities, cloud service opportunities in terms of AWS as well. Yeah, please send it. All right. All right. So because of the light is out, so I mean we're not able to present the slides. So we'll be sharing the slides on the group, so you can actually follow with us during the presentation. Just more or less like a side note. So yes, so AWS Cloud Club is more or less a community where we get to share AWS resources. We get to teach people out as regards AWS cloud services, especially students. We are more or less focused on students because like that's the focus. So for people that are more or less professionals, there are other community, AWS community, they call them user groups across Nigeria and across Africa globally. I think you should be familiar with either one or two. So we have the user group for Nigeria, we have the user group for West Africa. I think the user group for West Africa kind of hosted their community day. I think about 2 months ago now. I think September, if I'm correct. Yeah. So those are the ones for the professional. But AWS Cloud Club is more or less for institutions, just for the universities chapter, and this is more or less for Unilag. And it's just where we get to like help students to be able to understand cloud concept as regards AWS. We provide them with opportunities to get certifications as well, and we basically help them to like tailor their path as regards career path in terms of AWS as well. And that's like who we are. And today, just more or less like an introduction on what we'll be covering into today. Today is more or less going to be like sharing insights towards certifications in general, exam certifications as regards AWS. So there are a couple of certifications, and I know a couple of us will be familiar with various of these certifications. So we keep going in depth on how to like register for these certifications, how to get resources for these certifications, and really what's the benefit of this certification. So we're getting more insights towards this as well today. And real quick, just as we mentioned in our publicity, there is a chance, an opportunity as well to get an 100% AWS certification voucher to write any certification exam of your choice as well. So stay tuned for the announcement, and we are using this opportunity once again to welcome each and every one of us again. Thank you very much for taking time out to come and participate. Please, a round of applause for yourself. Please. A round of applause for yourself. All right, so real quick, we'll be moving into, because the time is not really on our side, we'll be moving into the next phase of the event. I think we'll be going straight into the presentation now. So the person that will be taking us in the presentation will be a colleague of mine as well. He's part of the core team for AWS Cloud Club, and will be walking us through the presentation this morning. So a side note, we're having a workshop immediately after, a hands-on workshop immediately after the presentation, and the Q&A after the presentation. We'll be having a workshop, so stay tuned. It's just more or less to help us solidify our understanding and our knowledge of what we've said so far, and more or less help us to like have that idea of exam, what would I call it now? It's just like a pre-exam mode for us to be able to thank you very much, Nepo. Thank you very much. All right, so for us to be able to fully like have that understanding of writing AWS certifications. So you're welcome once again, and thank you very much. Stay tuned. Wale, please, can you do us the honor of coming to share the presentation? Thank you very much. Please, a round of applause for him. Okay. Don't forget this one. This one. Okay, so while the projector is coming up, you can actually check on our phones. I think it sends the slides to you. So you can use that to follow along. Okay, I think.
For those of you joining us online, please give us a few minutes to get our projector on there so we can start. All right. Thank you everyone for being here today. We appreciate your audience and the stress you took through to join us here today. Oh, sorry. I said thank you everyone for being here today. We appreciate your audience and the stress you have to go through for you to join us here today. And for people that are joining us online, we also appreciate your. And for those of you joining us online too, we appreciate your involvement in joining us virtually. So I'm going to go into the presentation and talk about what AWS certification is all about and what are the benefits you have from joining this event today. Some of us here already are familiar with what I'm going to present here. So just enjoy it and ride along with us. And for those of us that are even newer, take notes if there are any questions you'd like to ask, if there are any clarifications you'd like to ask, and you have an opportunity to ask questions after the presentation. I think I would like to say something first. Someone came up, I think two people came up and they said they've been doing AWS since over a year and they said they are beginners. And that's frightening to people that are the actual beginners, people that only have 1 month or 2 month experience. I wonder what they were those people to say. So for those of us that are only here for 1 month or 2 months, don't let us be intimidated by beginners that have been here for more than 1 year. They are just being humble. So I'll start. Of course, my colleague has talked about what AWS Cloud Club at the University of Lagos is. We are more geared towards beginners, students that are just getting started in AWS or that have been doing AWS for a couple of years but are yet to get into the industry, or they are in the industry while they are still in school. So they are still learning a couple of things as they are going through the education. And for those of us that are in the cloud club year as students, by the time we finish our education year and we get into the industry, we will have a more smoother path to join the industry organizations that are meant for professionals in the field. So that's a good one for us. Okay, so I'm going to talk about AWS certifications, and we all know, in addition to degrees we get from colleges, certifications, especially tech certifications, are one of the most important sought after degrees in the world right now because they actually certify something, a particular skill, most especially,
And for AWS certification, the certification, of course, is being gotten from AWS themselves. So there's an amount of trust and value that goes along with the certification, and it's also always very important for us when we have opportunity to get certified. Just as it is important also to get the skills also, but also we need to get certified to show for the skills that we have. So AWS certifications are the best way to stand out, to show that you actually have skills in AWS and you have been certified by AWS themselves. And of course, this workshop is going to educate us on all what we need to get started, to apply for the exams and also to take the exams and ace the exams. So there are 3 levels of certifications. For those of us that are new to AWS, there is the foundational level, which is just one certification, and that's the AWS Certified Cloud Practitioner. A lot of us are already, for people that have been doing AWS for a couple of months, you're already fit to take this exam and actually pass it. So if there is anyone here for this exam, I would say what you need mostly is just the voucher, and maybe you just do some basic revisions and you will be good to go. It's just one. The foundational level exam is just one. The certified cloud practitioner, and of course, it's for getting people familiar with cloud computing as a whole, and then with certain AWS services. So, aside that, the next level of certification is the associate level, and this is where things start to get more serious and there are more specializations. So, the most common ones. Sit down. So, the most common. So the most common certifications at the associate level are the Certified Solutions Architect, and Solutions Architects are for people who want to have a very broad overview of cloud infrastructure. They want to be engineers designing cloud services. So you have a lot of basic and intermediate level ideas about a whole lot of services relating to AWS, and you have a very good idea on how to interface all of them together. So you are not just a programmer, you're not just an engineer, you might have some programming responsibilities. You also have responsibility for coordinating whatever infrastructure that is being used or deployed on AWS by your company or whatever other organization you're working for. So for people that want to have a very broad view of AWS services, the Certified Solutions Architect is the next important certification after getting the CCP, which is the Certified Cloud Practitioner certification. And also there is another one for Certified Developer Associate for people that are more focused on the code and the programming side of things, back-end API development and other things relating to AWS. So you can get the Certified Developer Associate certifications for any one of us who is coming from the programming background and we want to get into the cloud. This is most likely going to be the certification that we most need. And then there is a CSOPS administrator at the associate level for people that are into systems and operations administration. People that have systems administration role in the normal on-premise environment can take these certifications when they migrate into the cloud. And then at the professional level, there is a certified solutions architect at the professional level, which is just a step ahead of the certified solutions architect that I discussed earlier. And at this stage, anyone with this certification is expected to have a very broad overview of all various services, over 200 of them that are available on AWS and how they are to be used together for certain purposes, how to achieve certain objectives and goals, and also how to do that most effectively. Because of course, you have to pay AWS, and the less you can, the less you pay for more services that you can get, the happier your employer is going to be with you. And of course, then there is a certified DevOps engineer for people that are interested in DevOps on AWS. As we know, DevOps is very, very related to cloud computing. And for people that are doing DevOps and working on AWS, the certified DevOps engineer is one certification that will be very, very important for such people to get. And these are not the full list of the certifications. There are other certifications that are not mentioned there, and I will just give a very short rundown of those. For the specialty level, there is machine learning specialty. Of course, we all know what's happening with AI and machine learning, and there are certain ML applications on AWS that people can make use of. For people that have specialty skills in machine learning, they can take the certified machine learning specialty certification. And it's not just about the certification, it's about what you need to do before you get to taking the certifications. There are a lot of things you have to learn on AWS to improve your knowledge regarding machine learning and how to employ machine learning applications that are already on AWS for whatever purpose you need them for. Also, for specialty, there is advanced networking specialty for people that are into networking on the cloud. And then there is AWS security specialty. Of course, security is a very important part, and it's even more important when you talk about cloud because it's not as closed as on-premises services are. So there is need for very, very tight security for some of the applications that are being deployed on the cloud. So there are certifications to help people about that. So, what is the importance and the use of AWS certifications? Of course, the certifications help to validate our experience in certain AWS roles and domains because for someone to pass the certifications, there are certain amount of skills and knowledge you need to demonstrate. And once you have the certifications, it's a testament that you actually know the things you ought to know and you have the skills you ought to have before you can pass certifications. Not everyone that take the exam pass them. So if you took the exam and you pass it and you're certified, it shows some amount of skills and knowledge that you have. And also, in addition to that, it opens a lot of doors for career opportunities because when you can show that not only do I have the skill, I am certified to have the skills, and um, I have shown my skill and my experience and my knowledge in getting the certification. It opens a lot of doors for career progressment, and for salary potentials also. So when two people have the same amount of skill, one of them is certified and the other one isn't, it's always to the benefit of whoever is certified than to the and to the detriment of whoever isn't. And a lot of companies also want employees that are certified because it's one of the requirements of the kind of employees they should have, the skill set they should have within their company. So for certain applications, employers will say they want someone certified at with so certifications because it boosts the image of their company and of course of the quality and value of the people that are working for them. So it's always good to have certifications when you have the skills. And of course, it builds credibility and trust between employers and also between your co-workers because you have a common ground to share ideas with. When you have co-workers that you know are certified at certain skills and they also know you're certified at certain skills, you know there are general knowledge that you have both acquired along the way and you have a common ground to share ideas and do other things. And of course, before you can get certifications, you have to learn the things you would learn before you get certification is also very, very important. For some of us, we have a specific role, maybe in our current job, and the specific role we have is enough to get the job done at the moment. But when you start taking certifications, then you see some other things, some other skills, some other services that you've not been working with at all. So you have no idea about them. But now that you have to take the certifications, you have to study on those skills, on those services, and it makes you broaden your knowledge more than just what you use in your day-to-day activities. And who knows, those offsets of skills that you acquire, you might actually end up incorporating some of them into your day-to-day work at your place of work. And another thing is it helps us to manage our own progress ourselves. So if someone has been studying, you've been working with the cloud and you've been studying on AWS for a couple of years or a couple of months, it might be difficult to know your standing. How well have you gone far into your skill development? But having certifications definitely helps you to do that. You can say, oh, 2 months ago, I have as the foundation level certification, and maybe in the next month, I'm going to be taking the associate level. If I should ace it, I now know that yes, I've progressed further, not just from the foundational level, and I have an associate level knowledge and understanding. And the same thing applies to when you progress to taking professional exams or when you go into other fields. Because the associate level, you don't have to take just one. You can take as many associate certifications as you think you need. The same thing applies to the professional and to the specialty. So those are the benefits, the importance that we stand to gain from from the certification. And then there are certain things we need to talk about when we talk about certifications. There is the case of how to get vouchers or how to schedule your exams, how to go to exam centers, what are the things you should prepare for, how we should prepare for the exam themselves before you go to take them, because these certifications can be very expensive. So it's always very, very good that we try to ace it once and for all. Saves us time, saves us resources, saves us money, and other things. So I'll be talking about those things now. And if there are any other additional information that anyone needs, of course, you can go to the link here, aws.amazon.com/certification. You can get any other information that you need from there. Okay, so what are the things we need to do to, of course, everyone have their specific study routine that works for them, but these are just general things that we can consider, and we can make use of whatever thing works for us. For many of us that we want to take the certifications, some of us are already in school studying, some of us are already in the field, doing some form of work or the other. So it can be very difficult for us to have a schedule to study to prepare for an exam. But it's something we should try and do, to have a schedule and stick to it. And one thing that is very important with AWS certifications is that you can take them anytime you want. It's not an exam that's done, let's say, in batches every year, where there's a particular period of time you have to take it. You can take it and schedule it anytime you want. But once you make the schedule, it's always, I think you can only reschedule once. And after you reschedule once, that's all. You have to take it at that particular time that you schedule it for. So it's very easy for us to get carried away because there is no particular fixed date of the exam. You can think, oh, I have time to prepare, and you scheduled it maybe 3 months ago, and before you know it, you get a reminder that you have only 1 week to your exam. So it's always very good to keep in mind when you make schedules for your exams, to keep in mind, okay, I have just 2 months before the exam. I have to plan to cover every material that I need to cover before the exam, and we should remember to keep that in mind, and also keep our exam date in mind, and have a study schedule and stick to it. So another thing we should do is to try to get all the resources that we need. To get AWS certifications, there are a lot of resources out there for people to get. There is the AWS skill builder itself. There are AWS documentations about various services. They have white papers about a lot of services. And also there are platforms to try and have mock exams on AWS. There is AWS Boy. There are other platforms like that where you can just take practice exam for the actual exam you're preparing for, and you get the questions from past exam that has been done. So you get questions that are really samples of the kind of questions you will be answering when you actually take the exam. So it's always very, very good for us to make use of those resources also. We are going to share the links to some of them to make use of those resources in preparing for our exam. And another thing we could do is something many of us have already done, which is to join online forums or study groups. We have on our community, on our WhatsApp community, we have a lot of people with a lot of skills. A lot of people already have different sorts of certification, gone through it before, and so they know what it entails. When those of us that are just trying to get certifications or take exams run into some obstacles, we can reach out on the group and ask. And of course, there will be people that have gone through it before to attend to us and tell us what we need to do, or fill out the gaps in our knowledge about certain things that we have. So we should also try to do some projects to gain experience, because the certifications themselves are meant for people that already have experience in the field. So, for example, with AWS Certified Cloud Practitioner, on the website for the CCP exam, it said that you should have at least 6 months experience with basic AWS services and infrastructure before you take the exam. Okay, and so it's actually advisable that we already have experience with the skills before we try to take the certifications, to solidify our knowledge, to accredit us and say, oh, this person has actually have experience in this field. But it's not feasible to all of us. It's not everyone that already has company they work for where they make use of this knowledge and skills on a day-to-day basis. And in that case, it's always very important for us to try to do projects by ourselves, try hands-on labs to give us a very, very close replica of the kind of skills that we get when we actually work in the field. So we should try to have our AWS account, try to make some basic projects and make some basic deployments regarding or relating to the certifications we are trying to take. And this is also another field in which the AWS comes in, because from time to time we organize projects and hands-on lab for our community members to participate in, and by doing so we have a lot of knowledge in hands-on knowledge and skills in whatever certifications we're preparing for. And also it helps us to solidify the knowledge more. I know there are a lot of people who say if they just read about something, it's not really they don't find it very easy to retain it as much as if they actually try to do the thing by themselves. They find it more easy to retain that way. So there are opportunities for a lot of projects and hands-on labs that people can do when they join the community. And of course, if you're trying to do certain projects by yourself and you run into one or two obstacles, you can raise it in our community. The chances are there's someone that has done it before, and they can guide you and give you certain guidance that you will need. I already mentioned AWS white papers. There are a lot of other resources there that AWS has that we can use. And then lastly, we should try to talk to other people. Take a break and also talk to other people. So if you know someone else that is trying to take the certification that you're trying to take on the community, you can exchange ideas, share information between each other, and say, "Oh, I saw this resource and it's very, very good. You can check it out too." If the person also has certain resource or certain projects that they think you should check out, they can inform you of it, and by that we share ideas, and share our progress together. Okay, so these are other resources that we have and that we can make use of when preparing for our exams. There is the AWS documentations. How many of us here have a skill builder account? Can you just raise up your hand to signify if you have a skill builder account? Okay. So for those of us that don't have a skill builder account yet, it's very, very advisable that we get one. It's free and it contains tons and tons of resources on how to prepare for various AWS skills and also certifications. There are certain courses there that are tailored to a specific certification. For example, there's a CCP course there, I think, that you can take within 4 to 8 hours, and it prepares you to take the certified cloud practitioner exam. For the more advanced one, it's more like a sequence of courses that are packaged together, and you can take them, and it's going to help you immensely in preparing for your certification. So for those of us that don't have skill builder accounts, please, after we leave here today, let's try and create our skill builder account. And for those of us that do, let's try to make use of it from time to time to keep ourselves updated. There is workshop.aws for getting workshop ideas on what to do. There is AWS Back to Basics, and there are various YouTube channels that are maintained by enthusiasts, people that are very interested, and also by AWS themselves. So there is AWS Reinvent, it's maintained by AWS. There is AWS Innovate workshop YouTube channel, it's maintained by AWS. You can always check out these things. And the interesting thing is, when there is a new development, maybe a new service or whatever about on AWS, or there's a new event coming up, they always get announced on these YouTube channels. So if we follow these channels and we have notifications for them, we can always get notified of new services, new events coming up on AWS before most other people do. So now I'm going to talk about how to schedule an exam. So this is assuming we already get vouchers to write the exam. So what are the steps you need to take to schedule exam? We already get vouchers and we already prepared. Okay, so you already studied the materials you ought to study. You already did the project you ought to do and every other thing. So you want to schedule an exam. On the voucher that each and everyone is going to get, hopefully, we can schedule exam with Pearson View. I think that's the partner AWS has for scheduling exams. And there are a couple of exam locations here in Lagos. You can select whichever place is very close to where you live, and you do the scheduling online, of course. You have the details that you need on the voucher, and you can just follow the voucher. The voucher itself is also self-explanatory, and you can select wherever you want to do your exam. You have opportunity to reschedule just once, and you need to make the application for the rescheduling before 24 hours to your exam. So once it's within 24 hours to exam, you can't reschedule again. You have to take the exam. So if you know something is going to come up on the day you already scheduled and you want to reschedule, you have to reschedule early, and you make your reschedule, and you can go to write your exam at your second reschedule. There are certain things you need to take to your exam center. These are information you get on the voucher. You need to go with a very viable means of identification, whether your driver's license or international passport, or at various minimum your NIN, your national identification card, to verify that you are the actual person taking the exam. And that's it. You take your exam within your the stipulated time, and you get your result and your certificate within 24 hours, I believe. So for those that are not already part of the community, this is a barcode you can scan to join our AWS community on WhatsApp, and that will be it for me. I'm going to take questions now. Is there anyone that has any question to ask about the things that I've discussed so far? Sure. Sure. Good morning.
So I have two questions.
Sure. Okay.
My first question is, what is the realistic preparation period to take an exam? Let's say example, the class function.
Okay.
How long should I prepare?
Okay.
Even me as I'm preparing for 2 shots
Oh yeah.
or
2 more. Yeah,
what
that's
is
true.
advice
That's true.
time using the sample of someone that works,
Someone that works.
someone that
Okay.
works does a 9 to 5.
Okay.
So what is the advisable preparation period?
Okay. Should I take that first, or you are going to ask all the questions?
That is the first
Okay.
one.
Okay. So for that, I would say there's not going to be a one size fits all for everyone. So it depends a lot on the individual. But with that being said, we expect that solutions architect exams are going to take more time than CCP exams, for example. And there is, I would like to say this. First and foremost, if you want to have a very good edge, you should complete the AWS Certified Cloud Professional course on AWS Q Builder. It is very, very important. Okay, so the course itself is stipulated for, I think, 7 hours on AWS Q Builder, but trust me, it can take more than that. Okay, it can take more than that because you need to revise. You're not just going through the course. You also have to revise, take the questions and stuff like that. So that's one thing you should do. Complete the Certified Cloud Practitioner course on AWS Q Builder, and then there is another course, AWS Technical Essentials on AWS Q Builder, that you should also try to complete. That takes 4 hours. So that's the stipulated time given on AWS Q Builder. It can take more than that also. If you have completed those 2 courses, try to take mock exams on AWS Boy, for example. You can take about 2 or 3 mock exams, or as much as you want to till you are confident. AWS Boy. Yes. BOY. Yes. awsboy.com. That's the website. You can take mock exams. You can take mock exams there. So you can take as many as you want to till you are comfortable that you can take the exam. And then you should try to get some projects. Try to do a couple of projects. So I'm not going to say particularly how much time this is going to take, but I'm going to say what ground you need to cover. And if you have done these things, you should be in good positions. After you've done all of these things, you can take about a week or 2 weeks just to digest the information from time to time and to prepare for the exam. That's for CCP. For cloud, for solutions architect, you are going to expect it's going to take more. The courses are going to take more period of time before you can cover them. The mock exams, you need to try them more number of times, and then you also need a longer rumination period to think about the things you've learned and process them. I don't know if that answers your question. Okay.
All this you just said.
Yeah.
And you don't need more.
Yes, it depends on your schedule. If you have 2 hours a day, for example, you can do it within a month. For someone who has maybe just 2 hours a week, then a month is not going to be enough. So it depends on your schedule. The number of hours, I would expect anything from 30 hours of preparation to 40 hours of preparation. 30 to 40 hours, yes. So you can get that within a month. That's for CCP. right? If it's solutions architect, you're going to expect to have more than that. What's the next question?
My next question is regarding the exam.
Okay.
So while writing the exam, where there is an internet disruption,
Okay.
is that an automatic fail or an appeal?
I haven't I've had any experience with internet disruption while writing an exam. The only internet disruption was before the exam started. Okay, and so they are going to make sure they fix it. The best way you do it is you don't write it at home, because there are two options. You can write it by yourself at home and you get your facilities on, you get your webcam set up and other things like that. But it's too risky for you to do that, because if there is anything, you really don't have a recourse to show that, oh, it wasn't my fault. If anything goes up, you don't, and there are no channels you can communicate through. It's better you write your exams at exam centers. Okay, there are exam centers. Yes, the exam centers all over Lagos State, and you can choose whichever one is close to your home. So when you go to exam centers to write, the exam centers, of course, it's something they do from time to time. They organize the exam very frequently for people, so they know how they schedule things, so they don't have internet disruption. And hope I very much hope you're not going to have any issues relating to internet disruption. But if there is one, as far as you fulfill all the responsibilities that you ought to, then the center is going to make sure you get the right treatment for that. So it's very possible they reschedule the exam for you or something like that. Yes, but try not to write it at home. Try to go to an exam center to write it there. It's better for you that way.
Was this community have a study?
I've got a study group. Yes. Is that the third question? Okay, sure. So you also want to ask a question?
Yeah, and some of my colleagues, they find it difficult to explain their exams. Even their dollar card, you know, that's like it. So someone else said there are 1 million.
Did someone said what?
There are 1 million from scheduling their exams in their home. Either you reach out to your friends abroad or, as you said.
Does anyone know about this? That Nigerians have been banned from.
Yes, so I had that's in so I tried to do an AWS. So I tried with cards from different countries. I tried in Canada, I tried from 3 or 4 different countries. So by the time I reached out to them, what they told me was that because of the country where I was taking the exam.
Your payments where you want to do that.
Yeah, actually. So actually, for that case, I feel like if you want to register for some of these exams, you have to make use of a foreign card.
Yes, yes, I used to pay this card.
No, the thing is that okay, like somebody that
Okay, thank you. I think I have experience regarding this. Actually, like in Nigeria, it's
I
very,
never
very
make use
difficult
of
to do
dollar card. Those because those is it I forgot to say, but now no longer accept it.
They don't accept it.
So what I did was to go to the center. So I said to them that I want to universal certification, and they told me to pay. So that's to pay this guys and they also pay.
Oh, at the exam center. Oh, good.
But also, I think I also use out students because it's kind of expensive because they will actually like add business. So someone said you can use Oliver's bank card. So I don't know. Maybe you can do it.
You can make use of what?
Oliver's card.
Okay. Okay. And in that case, you're going to pay the exact amount, and that's it. Okay. Does that answer your question? Okay. And hopefully, you will need to pay for it. If you win a voucher, then you can just use a voucher. Hopefully, yes. No promises. Yeah. I think the minimum any voucher has is 6 months. The minimum 6 months, 6 months, 6 months. So even if you just start preparing by the time you get the voucher, you should be able to prepare for any of the exam within 6 months. Yeah, 4 months, it's fine. It's fine. You're not there's no pressure. You have about 6 months. I think some vouchers might even have 1 year expiry period. Yes. Yeah, you can. You can just speak loud. Yeah, yeah, yeah. On the next exam.
So, I'm thinking, how do I
So the question is raising is when you write AWS exam and you have a 50% reduction in price, yeah, automatically for the next exam you're writing. So he's saying since he wrote the first one and he paid at the center with his card, he has a 50% reduction for the next exam he's going to take. So if he wants to take the next exam now, how is he going to do it such that he's going to pay just half of the money? So does anyone have any idea how that works?
Yeah, I think for that there is a particular point that university so yes, it doesn't apply this. Why is that it applies
At the exam center. At the exam center. In that case, they only add half of the payment to it. So you should be paying them just to half, and you have the other half from your voucher. Yes. That you're going to get it here. That you may get some other time, but it's not today, number one, and it's not today. Yes, today is just the kickstart for it. There are other activities that need to be done. Okay. Yes, you can. You can. As far as you have the voucher, you still have the voucher and the code. It's the code that matters. You can use it anywhere.
I don't think you can write in Nigeria. It's not possible.
By yourself, you can, but it's too risky. There are a lot of things you need to set up. I think you need to have a webcam to monitor you. You need to make sure your internet is fine. If you should have any issue with your internet, you are on your own. Nobody's going to attend to you or anything about that. Or maybe power supply or any other thing, you're on your own. Once you start your exam, you have started your exam. That's it. Is there any other question? Okay.
Right, concerning this certification, I just wanted to, I don't know if you have any idea of this.
Okay.
Because I don't know if it was even from the group. Someone sent me the AWS certification, and I followed it. I think it was like a lecture or so. I didn't know it was like malpractice.
Okay.
So he sent me a message to get AWS certification. I thought it was like a training, teach you, and then you give you a voucher. Because they now sent me, all I have to do is pay $500. And then they will book the exam. All I have to do is do as I'm writing. You'll be writing the exam. And then I'll get my certification. I don't know if you know about that.
This is the first time I'm hearing it. But it's risky to you too. It's very possible. It's very possible that what they even promise you is not achievable, and they just want to collect your money. Do you understand?
Just the officer will be aware.
I don't know about it. This is the first time I'm hearing it. But there are two possibilities about it. It's very possible they have a way to actually hack the system where you can just pretend as if you're writing the exam and they write the exam for you. That's possible. But in that case, it's not your benefit. Number one, you're paying too much. Number two, you're getting a certification for something you have no knowledge about, right? But what's even more probable, the most probable thing is that they just want you to pay and then you won't get anything from them again. Because I don't know how feasible it is for them to actually hack the system to the point where you just have to pretend you're writing an exam and they'll be the one writing it for you somewhere else. But the most probable thing is they just want you to pay the $500 and you won't get anything from them again. Exactly. There are things like this going on. Anywhere that money is involved, of course, you should know there are people that want to make their own, whether legally or illegally. You wanted to ask a question. For what? For solution architect. Does anyone remember? I can't remember. 70. Yeah, are they the same pass mark? Huh? 720 out of 1,000. Okay. For solutions architect, what's it for CCP? 700. CCP is 700. Okay, solution architect. Is our solution architect exam the same pass mark? Do they have the same pass mark? All solutions architects. Okay. 720 for solution architect. And of course, this information you can get it on AWS sites. The sites for the exams, they're always there for you to see. You also want to ask a question? Okay. You changed your Gmail. Did you also change your Gmail account? Did you try to use another Gmail account? Did you try to use another email account? Okay. You can reach out. You can reach out to their customer support. They can tell you the reason for it. Are there questions online? Are there questions online? If you try every other thing and it doesn't work, I suggest you speak to AWS support team. If there is any reason why they wouldn't allow, even if they know it's related to your first account, what's the reason why they won't allow you to open another account? For example, you should try to speak to them and know that's the best next step to take. Last question, if there is any other one. And are you in our community? Do you belong to the? And these are things you can raise in the community. And many people there than there are here. So someone else might have experience with it and have solved it before, and the person is not present here today. So you have more audience there than here. Yes, they can clear for you. For the first time, they can clear for you for the first time. Yeah, they can waive it for the first time. That's if they have not. What does that still apply after they've closed the account? Because they're going to give you. Yet, I know it works that way without closing it. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So if they, yes, I think for you have to show them. I have the same experience. I have to show them I'm a student. You show them your I am student ID card or something like that, and they can waive it for you for the first time. After that, there is no waiver again. Okay, so that will be all from me. Thank you very much. Thanks for your audience, and thank you very much for coming here today. Thank you.
All right. Please a round of applause for Wale again, please. Thank you very much. So quickly, we'll be moving into the next phase. But before that, can anyone like really point one or two things that they've taken out from the presentation so far as regards what Wale shared earlier on, as regards taking AWS certification. Just 1-2 things quickly before we move on to the next phase. Anyone? Thank you very much, please.
Very important. Don't write your situation at home.
Thank you very much. Yes, thank you. Don't worry, you're actually doing that today. You're doing that, yeah. All right. Yeah, so thank you very much. Real quick. So moving on to the next phase, which is the the hands-on section. Okay, quickly before that, I would just more or less want to take a quick announcement, 1 or 2 quick announcements before we move on to the hands-on section. So the hands-on section is just more or less like a representation of the actual exam, and so it's supposed to come for about 2 hours 10 minutes, but we don't have that timeline yet. We cannot stay for 2 hours to do that now. So what we'll be doing is that we'll be compressing that to an hour time. So we'll be answering about 65 questions in an hour time. So just more or less give us that hands-on experience of how the exam actually looks like. So I don't know how many of you are writing for foundational certifications, or you're looking into writing for associate certification. And when I'm talking about foundation, I'm talking about the CCP. When I'm talking about associate, I'm talking about the solutions architect and whatever other certificate as well. So we'll be taking the hands-on section based on those specialty. So I'll be sharing a link very soon on that. So we start that process. It's just going to be for an hour, just as I said. I know you'll be seeing 1 hour is 130 minutes. That's 2 hours and 10 minutes thereabout. So, but we will not be doing that long, please, Ejo. We did it for just 1 hour. So, no, we're not reducing. We're asking the 65 question. So we did for 1 hour. So by the end of 1 hour, everybody should submit and stuff, and be able to see like the breakdown of the grades. You see your grades, you see the breakdown of what they grade you on, and you see the necessary corrections as well. It's just more or less like a practice and hands-on on the certification, because that's how it should. Like I remember recently when I took my SSA, that solution architect, it was really, really funny, and because it's been a while I actually did this in the exam. But it was really cool and all. So this will actually give you that hands-on experience on it. So just prepare and get ready for that. So quickly, announcement. We'll be having forthcoming event as well. So this is just one phase of the exam slam. So being here today, attending physically is one parameter and one criteria for you to be able to like be or stand to get the voucher, which is more or less the 100% voucher. So the other phase is more or less I'll be sharing like more details into it, but there's another phase to it. So when you get to complete that phase, then you are fully qualified to get 100% voucher. I'm saying 100% voucher now because so you're going to get 100% voucher. So I'll be sharing more details and more light into it as times go by. Then secondly, for as many people that are not still yet on our platform, please scan the code EDGEO and join the platform, because you are really missing out on a lot if you are not in the community on WhatsApp and on Meetup. Then thirdly, I think we should be having another Meetup as well by ending of this month or next month as well. And that's more or less around, I don't know how many people have heard the buzzword Gen AI, ML. You're like, okay, what are they saying again? Bye. So we're having like a workshop hands-on on it, and I promise you, it's very, very interesting and very, very it's amazing basically. That's just what I can use to compliment it now. So it's just more or less to like pre-inform you and prepare yourself for that as well. So I think those are the couple of announcements I want to take before we quickly move into the hands-on section. All right. I don't know. You see, some people do not come with laptop. You see, that's how rapture will come now. We'll carry people and go heaven. Some people will not go. So I'll be sharing. I don't know. Maybe you can take it on your phone. I don't know if that's possible. But I'll be sharing the link. I think I'll be showing that. I'll be displaying that on the board, so we can get to see and join and you can actually get to start. I mean, so how many of us, first of all, are writing or want to take the foundational certification? I mean, please let me see your hands properly. The foundational certification, that's CCP, cloud practitioner. If you are just starting AWS certification, that's the first thing you take. So if that's what you are taking, yes. So please let me see your hands. I want to get like a number. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So eight of us, okay. And how many of us are like in the advanced place? Or Gami? Please let me see your hands up. So for the associates, for the specialty, for the professional, please let me see your hands up. Okay. So for the specialty now, okay, we can actually get into that later. So for the specialty, are we looking into? So there are different types. I think there's one for the computer networking, there's one for the solution architect, and a couple of other ones like that. So I'll share the link, so we'll be able to see the one that we're actually preparing for. Then you'll be able to take the hands-on test that I want to take in today. So let's not forget, it's an hour test, just more or less to give us that grasp of how the exam will look like. So I'll be sharing that in a minute now. 1 second. Hmm? Yes, everybody needs to take. No, I can't. I know. Okay. Okay, I'm sharing that now to the. Hey. See now. We should join our group, our community group, because that's why I just pasted the link now. I'm not really sure if I can. Can I edit this now? Let me see if I can add something. No, I cannot add anything. Okay. Okay, see now I'm doing PowerShell now because of, I'm doing PowerPoint because of you people. So for as many that are not able to join, I'll be sharing now my screen so you can actually get to see the link to join with. Let me present again. All right, can we see? AWS boy. So you need to create an account with them first off, and then just go into the practice questions. So that's the link on the group. On the screen. Let me put this on chat as well. So for those getting to stream online, yes, please, you can participate as well. For people streaming online, yes, you can participate. I'm sending the link to us on chat. So yeah, you can actually make use of the link to participate. So you need to sign up to AWS Boy. I think just with your Google details, that's your Gmail details, you can actually sign up. And yes, so navigate to the exam of your choice. So for those people writing CCP, navigate to Cloud Practitioner. So I think there are 3 or 4 tests there. So I want us to migrate. I want us to jump. So let's take tests. Let's take test 2 for CCP. Please, if you are joining, please join. Look, I'm going through. Yes, practice test. Yes. Practice test. For people that are joining, for the associate level, I don't know which one you are. Which one are you go for? Yes, so just to practice 2 as well there. And which one are you doing? Correct. So please make that you sign up and get practice. we need to print our account, and don't forget. Not like take it. They print an account, your email address, your password, and then so this will give you like that hands-on experience practicing and preparing for your certification program. Any one of them, practitioner, associates, professional, yes. So we have 1 hour. Yes, I have. So we have 1 hour. Starting, so this is one, definitely. Can go back to Thank you. For solutions architect, so there's one for like there's a practice question for 15 minutes. I want us to be full time that space. You can actually go back home and take the exam or the practice test that is for another hour. I want us to because you will be not practice. Which one have you started? So class practitioner, I think it's not taking it very good. The class practitioner wanted it does this for 1 hour. But for the ones people that are doing associate exam or certification, there's another one. There's I think there are 4 options here. The first two is 130. This next two is 50 minutes. So let's do one for 50 minutes. Enjoy your fourth one. Yeah, I'm just trying to compress the time to remove from there to are you using the associate or the class? Associate, yes. You want for 3 or 4. Are you using it? Yeah, already. Yeah, I get this answer. That's it.
No, there's one for 15 minutes.
Sorry, are we all there? Are we all there? You are not seeing 50. Do anyone of the market, or are doing it for 1 hour? You are not seeing 50. Don't do the one for one for. So one thing that you need to keep in mind is that you need to keep in mind that time is going. So be cautious of time because one thing that is really like key when taking exams is speed and accuracy as well. So you need to be cautious of time while taking the exam. So that's one of the reasons I'm saying that you limit it to 1 hour. I will see how many questions I will actually answer within that 1 hour. How many correct questions? Let me rephrase. I will actually answer within that 1 hour. So I've started already. So by 12:30, we are off. So I was not already 11:30. I'm just explaining. So please let's start. Does anybody have any issue? Are you having an issue? Electricity. Come and plug now. There should be somewhere you should plug in. Come and plug in. Yes, sir. And if, I mean, there's no internet, I can actually help you with that. If that's the case. But what's happening? All right. If you have any issue, please let me know. So for our audience online, I don't know if you have any issues with taking it. I've shared the link as well online. So either you're taking the one for the foundation or the associate level. So just go to the link and register and move to the or navigate to the navigate to the practice questions and just select one and start with that. So we should be doing this in an hour. So we'll be ending by 12:30 for the hands-on, and we are doing SSA. Yeah, so just click on SSA practice practice 4 and just start as well. Yeah, do practice 4, please. Well, remember we're doing it for an hour. You said what? Yeah, so for our audience online, there is a post survey event form I'll be sharing now. So let's fill that as well. Um, Two of them actually are the criteria. So you need to fill this and need to fill the next one. Bolu, can you confirm now? Yeah, so please, for those that are online, you can actually get to now fill the post event form. The barcode is on the screen. So please fill this post event survey form. All right, yeah, that's fine. Thank you.